Hello, everybody. Welcome to Celebrate Southern Africa. My name is Dawn Denton, and today I am talking boerewors and meat and koeksisters and rusks and everything that makes our culture so very special. So I've got Herman and Nicolette with me today of Fickle Foods. So tell me, where are you based? Where are you guys?
We are based in Broxbourne, which is in Hertfordshire, which is just next to Hertford. And to probably put more perspective, if you take the M25 as a circle, 12 o'clock is exit 25. We're 6 miles up the road. That's it.
Well, now I know where to come and knock on your door.
Yeah.
Just
There'll be a
6 miles.
fire. You can smell it.
So I've noticed that your background is very different from the work that you currently do. So you were both in IT, was that right, for a time period? So what made you then end up in something that is completely different from IT, or do you think there are similarities?
No, I won't say there are too much similarities, but COVID played a massive role. We were on our way to potentially America and then rushed back. I already had a bride purchased in America, and I was settling in, and she would have joined later. And then COVID struck, rushed out to before the borders closed in America, and reevaluated life during COVID and decided the love is the love. She's a sugar crafter, baker, qualified, everything, leather person, I mean, whatever you do.
Crafter.
Every craft. And she had a restaurant in South Africa. She had a catering business in South Africa in the 90s. And my passion has always been around food. Grew up in a foodie house big time, from grandmother that sadly passed away to my mum that's still a huge cook, and just learned from there and loved it.
I think that's part of our culture, really, is the food that brings us together. And I think I'm sure it's the same around the world, but the generations have got less and less into the kitchen. You know, we grew up in the kitchen. The kitchen table was where everything happened, the conversations where you got, clapped over the ear because you didn't bring back a report from school that was good enough. But it was really something that brought us together. Did you find that when you were running your restaurant, Nicolette?
Yeah, and I think for South Africans specifically, eating is a social event. It's not just shoving food in your mouth.
Which I do a lot of as well.
Yeah, but there's somebody said some people live to eat and others eat to live. So and that's the thing that distinguishes us. We just enjoy food, and we still eat around the dining table every single night of our lives. There is just no other place that you eat. And that's where conversations happen and everybody talks.
And so why specifically did you choose to go the South African food route when you came to the UK? Because, of course, there's other foods that you could do. You don't have to focus on the South African food, but why specifically South African food?
Because you do what you know.
And what you love. And what you can't get here. And we knew it's probably the most difficult. So the challenge we set to ourselves was how to break into the British public as customers. And we are chipping away at that. Things like our Cape Malay boerewors, which is we're the only people making that specific flavor, is a hit under the Brits. Absolute hit. But it's getting it out there. We did this show with Piece of Africa the other day, and we were serving food. We were doing boerie rolls. 99% of people has never heard of boerewors, South African sausage or anything, and then you say, come and taste. And is that satisfaction where they go, oh my gosh, I need this, and they try and pronounce boerie roll, which they actually got right. We teach them how to do that after the taster. That's nice satisfaction, but it is to create what we loved growing up. I mean, British food is not as bland as it used to be when I started coming here in the 90s. It was horrible. I mean, spices here is pretty much non-existent in terms of how we love spices.
Yeah.
So, and now it is blending the whole thing. We're branching off into all sorts of things for the Brits now as well, but with the South African angle.
That's really exciting. And I do think that, we eat Italian salami, and everybody knows about Spanish meats and hams and cured meat. And so why can we not get to that point where everybody in this country knows about boerewors and biltong and druiwors and things that make us so special? But also there's a tighter connection with South Africa and Britain anyway. So it just seems logical for people to start exploring this other taste of food, isn't it? It just makes sense.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of education, especially with the rusks. So if you say rusk in the UK, it's a baby rusk. So we were at an off-road show this weekend, and I took my rusks.
Now we've got another company, Gear and Go. We was with British partners in there, so there we sell South African braais, Madcon and stuff we import from South Africa. And we decided let's go and have a little Fickle stall here as well under the Gear and Go gazebo.
Because again, it's off-roading. You want to pack small. You want to pack. And you want to have it all. So my slogan was breakfast in a biscuit.
As a matter of fact, here I just see it lying here. So
it's glaring.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
This is how she advertised it, and then people caught on to all-in-one breakfast, and then we just started selling on that. And you give them a taste, and they say, okay. And she sold out nearly all her rusks, and we took way too much. I mean, I sold out all my droewors in basically a day, and again, to people that's never heard of it in their whole life, never. We sell it as a protein stick, or you may be on keto, or you may be on low carb. Have a pack, go.
And if you're not, you'll love it too.
Have it anyway.
Yeah, rusks are unique to us, and they're quite special because I mean it does come from the Dutch, but I think also you guys, you know, growing up in Cape Town, there's a real foodie thing in Cape Town, you know, because it brought so many cultures together, which is why probably your Cape Malay boerewors is doing so well, because it's bringing together and the fusion of those two flavors, which the British love curries, they love spicy food, not all of them, and I think it's a new generational thing. Like the older generation don't go near even Italian, you know, because it's so foreign, but it's just an opportunity to bring together what you love, what you can make, and creating something for a new market.
Yeah, and it is interesting for us as well, because we've got a tasting panel. Because of course, before we put anything in the market, it's like making batches, freezing them, defrosting them, making sure, you know, that it all stays the same shape, same taste, whatever. So we've got a tasting panel of friends around us. I think they kind of like it more. And Simon will make a new sausage and then give it to them and to the kids, and we'll take feedback. And definitely with our premium, which we used to think was the best, very light flavor profile, because
I grew up with the sausage my whole life. It was friends of my parents' farmer's recipe, and I grew up with it. And eventually, sorry, Nicolette, got the recipe when I left South Africa with a promise it will never go back to SA, and I can only pass it down to my kids. This recipe, it's that secret.
So it's a very, very light flavor profile. Because the meat has to do the talking, but then wasn't the top favorite. So the moment we came up with the premium of the Fickle one,
it's been bugging me.
Yeah, stronger spice, then they love it.
But it's also spices. So except for the Cape Malay, that's got an interesting spice mix. Everything else is stuff we've developed. And so all our other recipes are allergen free as well. There's nothing in there that's of any.
But also that's the food that we grew up with. You know, we didn't have all that other stuff. It was all natural stuff, and it was just pure flavor. We didn't have to add anything fancy that was not made, you know, that was made in a factory. And I think it was healthy food, you know. We did eat, I mean, except for putting sugar in all our vegetables, which is what my family did as well. You know, die vleisreis and aardappels, but and the beans and potatoes with everything, plus a big, you know, bowl of rice. But otherwise, it was really healthy, natural food. And I think that's a really lovely thing that you have brought to the UK, because there are people who are doing it, and there's nothing you know, that's new to your idea. But what makes your business different is you and your secret recipe, which how many bottles of brandewijn will it take to get that recipe from you?
Sadly, nothing.
People have tried.
And it's actually very interesting. And this is probably the part of the business I enjoy the most. So we've got an African shop quite locally here to us, literally 2 miles down the road. And I popped in there, and yesterday I wanted to go and buy something specific there. And this lady, and she knows me making stuff. She said, Herman, I need to buy boerewors of you. Can I start stocking your boerewors? So after this, I'm going there to go and drop packs for a shop. But then she said, listen, you have to make me garlic boerewors, and you have to make chakalaka boerewors for me, because that's what my clients are asking. And I thought, okay, well, I have done garlic boerewors years ago, so that's easy. So last night, Google chakalaka, because I'm not going to buy the tins, they're too expensive. You'll never be able to buy the sausage. Anyway, found Jan Braai's chakalaka recipe, made it last night, absolutely superb. And that is going to get minced in over the weekend with my first run of, let's see how chakalaka boerewors can come out. I'll use the premium spice mix because it's got a lower profile of cloves and nutmeg. And then we will add my homemade chakalaka. I said to her, I'll bring her a taste on Monday. We're going to figure out how this is going to work. But then
Wow.
boerewors chakalaka, Herman twist on it.
So now tell me all the foods that you do make, because it feels like there's this massive industry with the two of you. So what foods do you make and how do you get them into the market?
So we've got the 4 flavored sausages, boerewors, let's just call it boerewors. And then we've got the dried sausage, which is fine because it is our pure beef sausage that just
I
gets
just
dried.
loaded the whole dryer before this meeting because I sold out. So this is the nicest thing about online. You wake up, oh damn, we sold out of dried sausage again this morning into the dryer. But anyway, so yes, that.
And then
I'm steering away from Bolton at the moment. We obviously make lots for ourselves. But that market is there's so many out there, and I can't see I can bring a different twist.
Something new. Yeah.
Our dried sausage is quite unique.
yeah, and then the rusks, which I'm going to stick to the 4 flavors. The saddest part for me is that I've been working on a proper milk tart rusk, and I've probably made about 20 batches, and I got one that was absolutely perfect, and I lost the recipe.
We got close.
I've never been able to get as close to it again.
It's literally tasted like dipping milk tart, a lekker milk tart into your tea.
Oh my, that's just heaven. That is you.
We'll get back to it.
You have tortured me now because now all I'm going to dream of is milk tart flavored rusks.
No,
but now do you do the cook sisters? So what are your 4 flavors of rusks?
I've got the buttermilk, and then I've got a buttermilk and choc chip and a buttermilk and cranberry.
And then seed and raisin.
Seed and raisin. So I classify that as one because I can make one batch. And
So
then
now is the cranberry more of a British flavor?
I do think it is.
We had to bring something sweet in. We've seen at the market and listened to the people.
Yeah.
The Brits want something very,
Sweeter.
very sweet to dip.
Yeah, I know. It's nice to have, but actually I love the not so sweet as well for a rusk, because that's kind of what we know. Yeah.
I mean, seed and raisin.
The seed and raisin is my favorite because that has got raisins, all brand, Weetabix, sunflower seeds. So you've got your whole breakfast sorted, like just sorted. It's all in there.
And then you do those flavors, and then the cooks, you do cook sisters, is that right?
Yeah,
that started literally. Yeah, we literally shipped the first yesterday to down to Simon, who owns Devon Brian Protea. So he's a big reseller for us down in Devon. So weekly we ship. I bought new types of packing material now just for him because the boxes are freaking huge.
So now tell me about, so one of the thing about Cook Sisters is I've always steered away from making it because it's a real mission. So is it a mission, and is that why we need to buy from you, because it's a mission to make?
It's a mission, but it's a therapeutic mission.
No,
I have so many conversations in my head while I'm standing there plaiting. But yeah, if you just want, yeah, and then he would say, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "No, I'm talking to myself here because I can do that."
So now you've got those are your main products, and so now do you do markets, and you also do sell online then? So that's
sell online. I mean, the other thing that's launching this weekend by Monday latest is our Cape Malay samosas, and then I'll put videos out this weekend where I did it the camping trip, and then our Cape Malay spring rolls. So we use the same meat for the boerewors for the stuffings. It's absolutely freaking divine. It is so good.
But that's the nice thing is we need to add on so that people don't feel, they have, when they come to our website, they only have sausage to choose from.
Yeah.
Especially since it's summer, you want little tidbits, when you invite people over, just dunk the samosas in the oil. They're going to be frozen, but not cooked.
And also you need to brand them as samosa, not samosa.
Yeah, samosa probably. It is. So that's right there. Our curry mayonnaise. So this thing is a recipe that I eventually fine-tuned to the point where my friends and family bites my hands off for this. It is, and I've sent lots of little samples with the boerewors stuff. That will be at the market, at your market. We will sell that. Behind me on the floor, you can't see. It's just freaking mayonnaise. Mayonnaise from there to there. That I can start making the pots because it's a very interesting twist to it. And the only thing I'll reveal is that the Raja mild curry is the ultimate taste in there. Again, using South African only stuff in there.
Nice.
In terms of the main flavors. And then our pie business will start
I don't know, later.
soon.
Seriously, like, do you sleep?
Yeah, between 2 and 4.
We do, but we're also developing. I mean, you have to do, and then the exciting bits are now with these products. We had two things. I've got 2 meetings today. One with a restaurant, South African restaurant in Manchester, just outside Manchester, who picked up on us and they want to discuss serving our products in their restaurant, some of the stuff we make. And then a new South African shop in Oxford. I've got a meeting with at 1 o'clock who wants to look at white labeling our products onto their shelves.
That's a lovely idea because it gives
because
yeah,
we don't, I mean, I will tell them, I actually already said to them, don't label our name because then people will just come online because the minute it's white label, they can charge what they want.
Yeah, no, it's lovely.
Price, but they can do.
No, lovely. I really like that.
But so that's the crux of our flavors and products.
Jeepers, that's a lot. That's a lot. So you go to lots of markets? Is that kind of, and do you have specific markets in your diary or do you just whatever comes up? How do you work that out?
We haven't, this year's the first year, because remember we only launched the business in November.
21st November last year, as winter started, we decided to start a boerewors thing because people don't braai in winter. So yeah, sarcastic.
I do it on the stove, and then my kitchen is just, I have to open every window because now I'm braaiing indoors, you know, but it has to be done.
Oh, of course. I mean, just on that. So I got questions. How do you do boerewors in the air fryer? How must I know? Do you think I've ever done anything?
That's an idea.
But listen, it is flipping 10 to 12 minutes on the thin one. I don't even turn them. They pretty much taste like coming off the grill. I was blown away.
We were amazed.
Absolutely amazed.
Absolutely amazed.
Wow.
I was quickly just like a booty roll. I'll just put it in the air fryer quickly. 10
so
minutes.
that's a braai for one is in the air fryer.
Yeah. That's when you want something.
Well, if you live in London, you're not allowed to make
a
fryer.
So markets we've got a few markets. We've got yours. We've got another big South African thing at a Tunnel Rugby Club. Tunnel Bridge Rugby Club. They do a big South African thing on the 29th of June, and there we're the only suppliers of boerewors, cook sisters, samosas, and all that stuff. We're not allowed to cook because they got hogs on the spit and so on, but it's all our products that we will be selling.
Nice.
And pre-ordered and so on. There's another one here at a school that we are just negotiating with. But we didn't initially focus much on this. I've got this African shop has now asked me, don't I want to do some summer markets with them? And I come and braai my boeries there. Which I'll probably do. Because it's just
I mean, it's just a very different business model, you know, and it's an interesting way to do it.
The focus is online. For us, the markets and stuff is just getting the name out. Promoting.
And it's difficult getting into the markets because markets typically have limited numbers of people and they protect the people that are there. So you really have to wait for somebody to stop trading to get in if you're not number 10.
Yeah, I mean, it was like when I asked or applied for your market. Our biggest fear is that it's going to come back and say, we've already got boerewors suppliers, rust suppliers, buy, because we understand protection. I don't want 5 people trading boerewors with me. Because now it's possible who's going to have the cheapest price, maybe, which is also, I mean, our quality, you know, we run only silver side beef, only pork loin, boneless is our meat mixture. I always say to people, so you say, okay, that's the price point. Do you realize I pay more than £7 a kilo at Smithfield Night Market for beef? And that's the cheapest you can get it. You know, it is, they forget, but then they go, okay, this other brand at $2.99 in one of our German shops that was all over. And I say, you can't compare me. I don't say that's bad, but Don't moan that there's no coriander in it.
Yeah, no, the point about the markets is really interesting, because the reason I started the market simply was because I realized there were a lot of people like you that came over here, had other skills, and thought, I want to do something. I want to do something different. And I don't have a market of people to sell to. I don't have the support of my friends and family. I don't have, people can share it like they would in South Africa about your business. So that was the point of the market, was to not only bring the traders together, but also give the traders an opportunity to now start marketing to not just South Africans either, because that's about limiting your market, as you said, about getting people to taste it. But it is a really lovely thing. And what I love about the market a lot is that there are people like me, the other half is British, to bring them there, and people who have children who have been born in this country and grandchildren who are born in this country, to say, this is what, Oma and Opa's tradition is. This is the food that we eat. This is what, the people that we are. And I really like that part of it, so that we can cling to what makes us so special. And I'm not saying not integrate, because that's not what it's about, but it's about giving people an opportunity to celebrate what makes them who they are.
Yeah, because nobody's ever going to take that out of you.
No.
So you might as well celebrate it and enjoy it.
Absolutely. And I've been here 29 years, and I'm thrilled when people go, oh, you've still got a South African accent. Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
And then you go to SA and they go, oh, you sound so British.
I know, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
I
very
always have
true.
to say to my SA friends, you think we're British now with our accent. I still say hello here. And they say, where around Cape Town were you born? I've only said hello. I said, this is what you never get rid of. Not that I won't get rid of it.
No, exactly.
I mean, this morning we had a query on a product, and it was 8:20. And when the query came in, I thought, let me pick up the phone and phone them. I mean, if they can email me, they're obviously awake, or send a form in. And the minute the person heard my voice, said, yeah, this is typical South African customer service. Unreal. That was just listening to my voice. Yes, of course, South African customer service. Thank you for calling.
Love it. I love it. Now, can you tell people how they can get hold of you, and where they can find out more about your delicious products?
Yes, they can go to FickleFoods.com. This is out of interest. So this is Herman and Nicolette, Fick, F-I-C-K. So Fickle Foods came from there. We are the Fickles. So FickleFoods.com, you can just Google that. You can just go straight there. If you go onto Google, our shop, or not our shop, but our business is registered there as well. But you go there, and there's WhatsApp numbers available that come straight through to us. We are, for ordering, open 24 hours a day.
Don't say that.
No, for ordering. I will often, like Sunday, I sat here a whole conversation next to the braai while the fire is going with a query that came in. Why can't you handle it? Oh, we just love it. I mean, it's customer.
And so, social media wise, you're on Facebook?
Yes,
and
Facebook,
Instagram.
Fickle Foods, Instagram, Fickle.foods, even a bit on TikTok. There's some videos.
Wow, look how modern and young and funky.
No, yeah. So I'm going to start doing some live stuff on TikTok, even just making sausage. I'm not the spud man where you see me prepping that, but I will put a camera on here and you can check how we make it. We are crazy about hygiene. We 5-star rated. I've passed every flipping exam that I had to write, the new allergen one of the government as well, the 50 questions, 100% scoring. We've got all of that. So we are very tense about hygiene. Nicolette is actually, the other day I said to her, listen, we were going out. I said, you can take off your hairnet now. I mean, this is like 6. She doesn't even know. I think she's not going to go to town with it because she doesn't even think the hairnet is always.
I was thinking, I don't know when last I've actually seen my hair.
Yeah, because it's always under a net because
that's brilliant.
The hygiene.
That's brilliant. Guys, it is so lovely to chat, and I am really looking forward to meeting you in person and getting a taste of some of your fantastic products. And Please, if you are in the area, in the Wiltshire area or in Somerset or in Bristol, Gloucester, Bath area, or even Hertfordshire, you know, people come from far. They drive for a couple of hours to come to the market to celebrate Southern Africa with us on Saturday, the 8th of June. And we'll be in Corsham. I'll put all the details with the video. So please do come and visit us and you can meet the Fickles in person.
Thank
Fickle
you,
Foods.
Dawn.
But thanks very much. And I really am looking forward to it.
Thanks for your time.
No problem.